Good evening, everyone. Baxter here with you once again on this Tuesday night. I was trying to make a deadline here. I said I'd be on at 8:30. Didn't quite happen. Somewhere or another, I misplaced my little apparatus to hold my camera. And so anyway, had a little panic hunt there. Didn't really get in a panic. I just had to back up and actually do what I want to talk to you about this evening, but in a different respect. And that is, I had to backtrack in my mind, had to go into a vision, if you will, and vision where I had been, what I had done, so I would know where I had put my stand at. And that took me a few minutes to go find it, because my mind's a pretty dark thing sometimes to look around in, so I had to turn the light on and find out where things were. But again, welcome you this evening here to us, to this live video. If you're out there, I'll be glad to have you to join me this evening as you're coming in. Tell me where you're coming from. I'd be glad to acknowledge that you're here, if I can catch a hold to that, because when I was writing this up to talk about it this evening, I was thinking, okay, vision can become mixed up, because here I am wearing trifocals, so that part of vision is losing. And so sometimes I have to adjust my head and look at these things and say, okay, now I see it. And very difficult to adjust to. But this evening I do want to talk about vision in the fact of, what vision do you have? Do you have a vision of where you want to go, who you want to be, what you want to do, and not just tomorrow? I'm not talking about goals, okay? I think goals and visions are different, and I think you have to have goals to attain your vision. But your vision is something that should pull you into the future. And I think today that many people, especially young people, do not have a vision of where they want to go. And I say that simply because I get to talk to a lot of people in my job. And many of them, what's the word I'm looking for? They're happy where they are, and they're satisfied in their mediocrity. That's the word I was looking for. And they don't see themselves doing anything different other than going to work in the morning, going to break, going to lunch, going to break, hitting the clock to get off, go home, flop down in the chair. Or some of them have no vision at all, except for staying at home as they're doing now and allowing others to support them throughout the rest of their life. They don't have a vision that causes them to get up off the couch and to reach out and become more, and to work harder, and to gain and to help those that are around them. Because to me, that's what having the vision is for, is to be able to improve yourself so that you can improve your environment, and you can improve those people that you love, that you cherish, that you have a relationship with, by being the person you have become. And so that's what I want to say our vision is I want to ask you, who do you want to be 1 year from now? Who do you want to be 3 years from now, 5 years, 10 years down the road? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to impact as that person that many years down the road, whatever it might be, wherever you are visioning to, getting a picture of? And what do you want to be doing in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? As I said in an earlier video, my plans, I have a vision to live to be 100 years old. I had a vision way back yonder, didn't realize now that's what it was, but when I first started working out way back at the age of 15 and learning about that process and what it can do for you and how beneficial you can have, I thought, I'm going to do this the rest of my life, because I want to be healthy. I don't want to be, as I saw my grandmother die from having diabetes, or my grandfather that never did those things but sit around all day because they wore out and they tired, and then finally in the age of 70s, the early 70s, that he passed away. So my vision in that regard is, when I'm 100 years old, I do not want to be in a wheelchair. I want to be up, functional, walking around, visiting people, helping them out, sharing love, sharing relationships. If I have grandchildren at that point, then wonderful, and that kind of thing. whoever it might be, because I'm involved in several communities, and I want to be able to help out those communities, and I don't want them to have to come and help me. So that's one of my visions. And as you know, or if you've been following me, you know that the three things that I think that we need in our life to have an enjoyable life is you need spirituality, and you need your health, and you need wealth. And that varies to in all three of those fields. Differs according to a person's vision and where they are right now and what they can actually see that they can do. Now, let me say this, and from the spiritual side, I think that you have to have a vision or you will die. And here's why I can say that, because that's what's written in what I call, it is my guide, is the Bible, the Holy Bible, in in Proverbs 29 and verse 18, that there Solomon, the wisest person ever in the world, wrote, without a vision, people perish. So, we need a vision of where we're going, who we want to become, so that it pulls us through the tough times, because as we're going to get to that point, my friends, there's going to be good days, bad days, good days, bad days, bad days, bad days. Good, you're going to going to a point is never a straight line. It's like an airplane. To get in this thing, it's set on autopilot, and they say I'm going from here to across the ocean to England, and it's set on autopilot. And what happens as that plane goes across the air, or a ship in the water, as it starts to get off course from the wind or whatever, it brings it back. And that's the way it looks. The whole way over is that line is never a straight line. It's always a zigzag, getting to that vision. And that's because as you travel along that road, getting to that vision, you have stumbling blocks, which I prefer to call stepping stones. You have things that come to prepare you and train you for the next step up, the next move, to get you ready. Because if you're not ready, if you don't become bigger than the part you are in now, then you can't move into the next section and to receive the growth that's going to happen there. And you're not ready to receive it. An example of that, if you will, many times, and I scanned an article the other night of a woman that was, 23, I think, or something to that effect. She had won a lottery. It didn't give the amount of money, but she said winning that lottery ruined her life. And here's the reason, is she was not ready to handle that responsibility and what that money, those winnings, could bring into her life, of the good and the bad. Because just because we think we have a lot of money sometimes, I don't have no problems. No, you just simply have different problems, a whole set of different problems, and sometimes they're bigger than the ones that you have, which many times prevents people from saying, I want to move ahead, because they can see there may be more problems. I have to work harder. I got to do this. I got to do that. There's all sorts of things. So anyway, back to our vision part. I'm getting off the subject here a little bit, I think. We need a vision in our life, because without having a vision, you will not move forward, as I said. So let's just say that you want to retire, and to me that's a word that I use in reference to a point whenever I want to change out of doing this part of my life into that part, because I never intend on quit working. I've seen too many people, when they retire, sit on their porch and they do nothing, they die. So, as one man said, he said, you don't retire from everything, you retire to something else. And I think that's my vision. I want to retire and keep on doing something different. I want to progress up and be able to help other people. So in my spiritual goals, in the community of the church that I attend, I want to be able to have the time to visit people when they are sick, when they are down, when they need help, when their house needs repair, or something to that effect that I can go and do and be a part of, whether I'm directing or handing them a hammer or just talking to them as they are working. To be there for people when they need that. That's what I want to be in that idea. Now, in the spirituality, many people say, well, I want to go to heaven. Well, what does being in heaven look like to you? I personally don't think the Bible describes that to us. I think that's left up to us. A young child, you ask them, and they say, well, they have puppy dogs and fishing poles, where you just go and enjoy your great day. And that is fine. They have a vision they're going to, and we need to have one as well. Now, I don't really know if there will be puppy dogs there or not. Like I said, it does not tell us those things. But in my physical thing, I already told you, my vision is to be healthy. I don't want to be in a wheelchair and toting an oxygen tank. And I'm striving to do my goals every week to do where I don't have to be. And then in the wealth, when the wealth part comes, at that point, I want to be able to help people as they need it, to be there and to be debt-free, so that in my house that I have at that point, And I think if you're going to have a house, if that's your vision, what does that house look like? How many rooms does it have? How many, what does the knobs on the cabinet look like? And just describe that thing, get that vision, that picture in your mind that you're going to. If you're going to have a car, you're going to have a truck, what will it look like? Will it be a Chevrolet, a Ford, a Ram, a Dodge? Is it going to have chrome wheels? Is it going to have a knob? Whatever it is, you need a vision. You need a vision in your mind. Do you know what your vision is in those three areas? And do you have a vision of where you're going to? I hope that you do, because without a vision, as I said, we will perish, because you're going nowhere. And any road will get you there. Now, goals, I think, are something you establish along that way to get you there. And I have learned that, it's okay to have a 90-day goal out here, a year goal. But just like in January, you said my New Year's resolution, well, that implies you're going to set that up to be doing this or have accomplished something in a year's time. I do believe and have learned that it is better to have 30-day goals and 90-day goals. That is something more reasonable that you can believe, and if you can believe it and you can see it, and then you can achieve it. And that's something else. That's another saying that somebody else said as well. And I don't think I said it exactly like they did. But the idea is to have that goal that in 30 days, here's what I'm going to do. Or in 90 days, here's what I'm going to do, because you can last that long to accomplish that. And then you set some more goals. All of them focusing towards your vision, unless your vision changes as you go. Even if it changes, set your goals to achieve those things in that short-term basis, because that's pulling you towards that. So then you sit down and you lay those things out. And I don't know that I made all these things clear this evening, but I do say that we need a vision. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? Whose lives or what impact do you want to make on people's lives when you are there? In all those areas of our life. Because I think we are a total being, and I think our total being has to be involved in everything we do to move ahead in life and to enjoy life. You've got to have your spiritual side, you've got to have your health to enjoy those things, and you need your wealth. And again, that's a different degree for different people. Some people are satisfied, and I use that word satisfied in a lower thing, because everybody needs money. Everybody wants money to a degree. We need it to get by in this earth. It is our means of trade. It is a tool. It is not to own us. And we are not, as the scriptures also say, the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money. Money is there to be used to carry us through the things we do in our life. You have to have it. Think about that what if you didn't have it? How would you buy food? How would you buy your neighbor food? How would you buy clothes? So we all want it. We all need it. Learn how to use it to cause it to flow into your life or out of your life to help others. Money is just simply an energy. We are energy. In our vision, we create energy in ourselves with our vision to be able to move ahead, to make an impact on our earth. As I said in an earlier video, how are we going to change the world? What are you going to do to impact your environment and the people that you have an influence over to make it a better world? That's what I ask. Do you know your vision? My friends, I hope you enjoyed this evening. Hope you found value in it. If you have, please leave a comment below. Please share it with other people that might could also see this. And stop by my blog if you'd like to at baxtercribs.com. There will be a few things going over there as well. And I want to thank you for joining us this evening, and have a good evening. I will see you tomorrow again. Thank you now.